Friday night was kind of interesting. We went, well, lots of things happened on Friday. So the plan was to go see Dark Knight. And we did that. It was great. I love Christian Bale. And Heath Ledger was fantastic. He really played the part well. So that's cool. I don't think my husband really liked the movie. He prefers the Jack Nicholson portrayal of Joker, so while we were my face. Oh, I shouldn't be doing this video now. Anyway, while we were watching the movie, my son was sitting beside me. I noticed that he was having troubles with his eye. And as the movie progressed, he kept on having the troubles. And he said that he had something in his eye and it wouldn't stop, and he couldn't get rid of it. So here he is trying to watch the movie for the second time. And he's not able to, enjoy it. So I told him to, just cover up the eye and watch the movie. Well, whatever. So we watched the movie. It was great. Loved Christian Bale. Loved Heath Ledger. We came out. He went to the washroom. He tried to wash out what was in his eye, and he couldn't. Now he works for his summer job at a foundry. So it's brass. It's a brass foundry, and he figures that he got, it's the left eye, he was doing some grinding that afternoon, and despite the fact that he was wearing safety glasses, a piece got into his eyes, and that's what was causing the problem. So we went home, tried to see where this thing was. I have bad eyesight, and my husband is squeamish when it comes to eyes. So nothing was working. Nothing was working. So I said, we can't have anything damaging your cornea or anything. We'll go to the hospital. This was Friday night. Do you know what hospitals are like on a Friday night? So this is like 10 o'clock. And we headed for emergency. The place was packed. So we sat down. We saw someone right away in triage, and they triaged him. Is that a verb? So that's like 10. We got out of there at 8 the following morning. Spent the whole night in the emergency room. He couldn't go to sleep because he had to keep his eye closed and keep the eye from moving. And so he decided he couldn't go to sleep, so he stayed awake. I fell asleep twice. The place started off really hot when there were a lot of people there. But by the time we were done, there was nobody there. And it was freezing. Freezing. Fortunately, I had changed from shorts into, jeans. And I'd taken a jacket, but nowhere near enough. At one point, I went to the car and got the sweater that I have in there and gave it to my son. But I froze almost all night long because they had the air conditioning going full blast in there. So, turns out, no damage to his eye. They couldn't find it by the time, even though he was still feeling the pain from it. They put stuff in there, they put dye in there, and they looked and they looked. In the end, they couldn't find anything, so it must have washed out at some point. And that was that. No damage. They could see, they showed me that with the dye and everything, both eyes, we looked, and he's had no damage. So that's cool. So that was like, I get up at 5 o'clock on days when I go to work. Friday I went to work, so I was up at 5. So I was up over 24 hours without sleeping. I did have a couple of naps there in the emergency room, but yeah. So that morning, Saturday morning, yesterday morning, came home and went to bed. I don't know how long I slept. A few hours, but whatever. So I think I'm still recovering. You just don't go 24 hours without sleep and feel the greatest. So that's been it for my weekend. I have a soccer game tonight, so hopefully I'll get all my work done. I have to, finishing my lesson plan for Monday is no problem. I should have a look at the next chunk of work, which I haven't done yet. But I will today. And I want to get out and get some sun. And I want to get out and walk. And so I'll try to recuperate today. He really, despite the fact that he wears the suit for a lot of the movie, his face is covered with the mask, he still projects the character, and he's incredibly expressive despite being covered up. Yeah, he really does it. He is probably the best one to have portrayed it so far, I would say. Both the Millionaire and Batman. He carries it. And as for the Joker, no disrespect to Jack Nicholson, but Heath Ledger is amazing. He finds the character, and with that, the lip licking and the sucking in his cheeks and everything, and it's wonderful. So I think anyone who hasn't seen it, you will really enjoy it. Dark Knight, Christian Bale and Heath Ledger. Of course, those other people, Aaron Eckhart and everyone, they're good too. But yeah, so have a good time. I had a good time and really enjoyed it, except for the rest of Friday night. Unfortunate. Yeah, it's okay. Bye, folks. Have a good weekend.